Hi everybody, Jolly Canna with Kine Genetics here. Just want to explain Shanghai. Shanghai is a Chiang Mai Thai crossed with Master Kush um, from Good Gear, and then crossed with Good Gear's Molokai Frost, and then crossed again with um, Kauai Electric and Molokai Frost. But it was a really special, unique genotypic expression that came out on the Molokai frosts, and it was like a fish eggs, with one pod going up on either, helping to separate the compactor um, buds and giving you more resin surface. But there are a few different phenos that pop, and um, some of them are really, like, if you train it, you can get some really gigantic tops. Um, uh, Tester got one that was like these huge buds. You can see the pictures on Instagram, and they're really nice, big, hardy buds that were so big they got the botrytis, which means that it had a little bit of the Molokai snow. And Molokai snow is like a possibility within the expressions, and you'll know that you have the Molokai snow as a dominant trait if you have a little bit of botrytis. But all of the kind genetics are recommended for indoor and greenhouse growing only. I mean, if you do it outside in the open environment, like, you can get a good end result, but the best results we saw were from a tarped, an open sides tarped grow with ag plastic as a tarp over the plants, and the sides were completely open for full air exchange outside, and that hole didn't get that much light. It didn't get full sun all day. It got maybe like 5 hours of nice sun, and then it would hide behind trees and stuff. And the buds really came out amazingly. um, but other expressions had just super amazing, unique. um, I mean, there's like a lot of it's like kind of eucalyptusy pine, maybe. That was the mother's profile. And like Kauai Electric has kind of like a citrusy thing going on, passion fruity, depending on the one that you have. And it could have been hit. Like, you have a nice variety of different possible males that were all, very desirable, because they hit the physical characteristics of the winning mothers that were chosen for the original breeds. You know, because they had really awesome turf profiles, but also, just the curiosity on how the two would mix, because it wasn't like, it has the DMT, the jasmine smell, um, in some cases, and if it has a little bit more of a jasmine tinge to it, then that would be a DMT Kauai Electric, more dominant type expression. Um, and I guess they're day tripper buds, maybe. um, something that you can smoke all day, and then like a life, but like if you once you get your cut, you'll probably have like the expressions as far as the effects go, they may not vary as much as I thought, because of the four, like it's a few way back cross to the IBL. It's not the cuts that we're back crossing back to. It's back to the IBL, and so it's like getting to re put together the genetic code in a way. Um, that were inspired by Mr. Soul and Cinderella '99, which I remember a long time ago smoking some Cindy '99 run by a friend, and it was good. You know, it helped me get creative, and I feel that this gets me and helps me get creative. Um, and that's what I'm looking for. I need something that won't lock me away from um, my emotions, and like help me to so that like I'm not bored, and there's a nice layer on life visually for me, but I'm not I'm not off in a different mind state because I smoke the buds, like, and I feel like I can still get things done and remember what's going on. But it has a really nice, it can be overdone, if you want to overdo it, and it has no shelf, um, as in, or no ceiling. Um, it's really epic. I smoked, I'm pretty sure it was a joint of that a little while ago, and wow, man, it's just make sure that you have, if you're growing outside, make a little ag plastic tarp that sits over your plants completely, and leave the sides open, and you'll get a really nice end result probably. Um, and don't spray the flowers with mycos or anything, you know. um, huh. Or do you? There's I guess people do it with the EM1. Like there's certain colored fungal growths and molds and stuff that won't contaminate flavor, and I think that mycorrhiza is one of them. Um, and on more than one occasion, I've sprayed out a whole plant with a myco, hoping that other molds that the thing was susceptible to or whatever wouldn't have a place to really grow because the micro is there. Um, I haven't done enough experiments really to confirm either way, but there's a chance. Either way, like Shanghai has 5 possible daddies, and all of them have like a part of them are the Molokai frost, but it was this really unique expression. Um, like I said, I chose it because it, I thought it would open up the buds a bit, and give it like that classic potty look sometimes. Um, but then some of them have the closer to like a classic, I guess, Master Kush looking bud. Um, it's pretty awesome. I really enjoy the high. It's I would say that there are strains that you could probably smoke a joint of Shanghai if you smoke too much of some other strain, um, and it'll take you out of the other strain. Yeah, like it'll dominate the terps with enough of the right stuff to pull you out of the other strain a bit. Um, it's only worked for me once or twice. Um, but otherwise, a lot of my stuff, a lot of the kind genetics, it's like I want something. I was thinking about the home gardener, the 10, you get 10 um, plants legally, you know, and like what can I smoke every day, all day, and only have that plant, and be okay with that for a really long period, like for the rest of my life, kind of stuff. And I really wholeheartedly am like, you know, these kind genetics are in that zone. Um, they, they won't be for everybody, um, but there's a chance that uh, because of the 5 different male possibilities, and the way that they were back crossed and all of this kind of stuff, um, that you'll be able to find a high that you like within these terpene profile ranges. Like I was talking to a friend of mine, and um, he smoked it, and he just didn't really like the high. I guess that's what he said. And I asked him what his favorite strain was, and it was Skywalker OG. And I looked up some Skywalker OG, and I'm like, oh wow, yeah. I mean, that if you want, more of a like a that like a nice cozy blanket over your energy or something like that, or you have a lot of energy, and it helps you, um, you don't want a little bit of pep in your smoke, um, then this might not be the best for you. You know, there's definitely a little bit of energy, but the thing is after about 2 hours of not smoking it, you should be able to go to sleep without a problem. And I'm fairly confident that in most um, garden expressions, uh, that you'll get a pretty content bud, you know, at least the within the first season, because once it starts to pheno out, uh, into the other person's style and stuff like that, then it's gonna change a bit. But I really love the Delta 9 THC, and I really love THCV, and we really went for those, and all of the parents have a high tendency of being able to pull uh, a well amount of that, and with a nice terpene profile, so that your mind isn't like totally messed up. Um, well, like you could hit the Master Kush, the Master Kush might be back a ways. It's back like over a year, maybe, or a year. And like if you hit that, I mean, you might be getting that more of that cushy vibe. But the Molokai Snow as well has a little bit of that indica, like when they used to say indica and they meant it like kind of a relaxing sedation. Um, and it's like a hash plant from Molokai that was grown, and Molokai has a really special collection of plants from the old days, and they also have like a special soil microbiology, and it just it's like the island or the soil knows that you have to get high enough to be able to live on a small island, and it definitely gets you there. Uh, it's really special stuff though, and but if you realize that you have the Molokai um, snow as a dominant genotypical expression trait, which would be botrytis in the big buds, then you're going to want to um, the next season only grow soldiers like sog, and you grow it up to about a foot or a foot and a quarter, a foot and a half area, and and you put them in 1 gallon pots, and you have the root system fully developed, and you just bang it. You know, you flip it right there in the flower at a foot to a foot and a half, and you'll get a bud that shouldn't have that fucking that botrytis issue. This it you know, I can't fully confirm that, but I'm pretty sure that a lot of the issue from all the people that I talked to um, is just growing the plant too big. You know, like some plants, they only want to live for their, like, they want to live a 12-12 life cycle. You know, anything past 12-12, and they're gonna go into a danger zone in some way. So I mean, like if you were to keep your veg zone going, right, but for only, I guess, 4 weeks, because they usually take about 4 weeks to go from seed to popped to um, you know, full plant ready to make flower is like a month. And it's pretty bad to grow up a huge plant, and you get the beautiful big buds that you wanted, and on the inside you got to deal with this botrytis stuff, which, I mean, you can do hydrogen peroxide soak, and it'll kill all of this stuff, um, and then you just kind of like rake away the bad bud, but it'll stink, it'll smell something awful, and you'll have to let it air out. um, but the one that, like, white is okay and gray is no way, you know, with funguses and stuff. You know, don't I'm not a doctor or anything, but I mean, that's just been my anecdotal experience. I mean, you know, over a shitload of experience um, of somebody who actually take the risk and smoke the bud, man. And certain whites they won't even contaminate your flavor. Um, it's pretty epic. And then others, like the grays and stuff, will just ruin a bud, just ruin it. But please check out Shanghai at dog dag.love, um, Kine Genetics. It's a really awesome bud for, like, maybe you'll be gravitated towards it, and it'll be end up working out for you. It just so many amazing possibilities, um, all brought to one area. Thank you.